As we enter the fourth phase of the MCU, it's time to look back at the best movies in the franchise so far. Here are the top Marvel movies, ranked. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon. Number 10, Doctor Strange. In some senses, Doctor Strange is one of Marvel Studios' most left-field projects to date, and, in others, it's by far one of their most straightforward and formulaic. That combination proved to be very successful with critics and audiences, allowing the pedigree of the MCU's casting and visual effects to shine through in an epic slice of origin story that never overcomplicates itself. Number 9, Spider-Man: Homecoming. It is the best Spider-Man movie, because we actually have someone who looks like a teenager playing the character. It also has a scene at the end, which I will not spoil, that shows the truest sense of Spider-Man. We also have a great supporting cast, a terrifying villain, and a third act that actually builds upon the first two acts. What can I say, this is the best Spider-Man movie, and we've been waiting good one for 13 years. Number 8, Thor: Ragnarok. The most praised Thor movie from the MCU by quite a wide margin, Ragnarok added an extra layer of zany comedy to the space fantasy formula of the franchise, with both critics and fans responding with overwhelming positivity. With the main characters taken out of their element, Chris Hemsworth really shines as the God of Thunder and redefines the hero as a quippy Joker who could go toe-to-toe with Robert Downey Jr. Number 7, X-Men: Days of Future Past. This is where it all got a little confusing, but at least it was epic. In Days of Future Past, various timelines are formed by Wolverine's actions when he goes back to the 70s in a bid to stop Bolivar Trask, Peter Dinklage, from creating the mutant annihilating Sentinels. Although Mystique had the same idea, and wires quickly get crossed. Number 6, Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the most ambitious and risky projects ever undertaken by Marvel Studios, Guardians of the Galaxy took a group of relatively unknown comic book characters and turned them into modern screen icons. The movie's mixture of upbeat comedy and space opera spectacle was irresistible for fans and critics, with the titular supergroup quickly becoming mascots for the ever-growing franchise. Number 5, Logan. Hugh Jackman said farewell to the Wolverine character that had made him an international movie star with this much more stripped-down take on the X-Men universe. Expanding on noir and western themes from director James Mangold's previous movie with the character, the Wolverine, Logan carved out an unusually emotional corner in the quickly changing world of superhero movies. Number 4, Avengers: Endgame. The latest Avengers sequel would prove to be the most financially successful entry into the series, the MCU, and movies in general, tying together decade-long plot threads from multiple characters around Josh Brolin's looming villain. Endgame created a milestone for the genre and an achievement that may not be topped for quite some time. Number 3, Iron Man. The first movie of the MCU remains one of its most emphatic hits and began Robert Downey Jr.'s beloved run as a superhero, lasting just over a decade. Jon Favreau's emphasis on practical effects blending together with computer effects, as well as charismatic comedy, made Iron Man a standout vision in an already quite saturated field. Number 2, Marvel's The Avengers. This was the first real superhero team-up film, and it still shines like a glittering infinity gem. The MCU group films have gone bigger and more dramatic. but this one has an all-around balance that we'll never forget. It's bursting with wit and inspired pairings, and by the time the ending Battle of New York comes around, you're either swept up in the superhero insanity or you don't have a pulse. Every character gets a payoff, which speaks to the patience and slow burn development the MCU put into its world, making Avengers an unforgettable experience. Number 1 Black Panther. Ryan Coogler's first solo movie for the African superhero took the MCU and the superhero genre itself to the Best Picture category at the Oscars for the first time, which was only one of the movie's groundbreaking achievements. The predominantly black cast was seen as a stepping stone to more diverse representation within the movie business in general, and critics joined in the celebration of its epic and progressive story.